Hi, today I want to talk to you a little bit about Topper Time. I've put together a manual for all of our teachers and for our students to best understand how things have evolved over the last several years. Initially, when we built Topper Time, it was for intervention and enrichment, where students and staff were able to interact and or receive opportunities for continued growth in the curriculum as an extension of their learning. And as we evolved into our current model of grades 8 through 12, many things have changed, including our graduation pathways. And one of the things that we are always doing here is trying to be proactive. How can we do this in a way that is meaningful, intentional, and has an outcome of the past, of our traditions, of our senior projects, but also is very attainable for all of our students? So we put together this manual. You know that our time called 5A is filled with many things. Eighth graders are eating lunch. Ninth graders are going off to freshman mentoring. Grades 10 through 12 are in a topper time. More recently, teachers and students have been kind of just treating it as a holding ground. Students have been doing homework, study halls, maybe getting help with teachers. But today I would like to talk to you about what is the intention and what are some of the things that we're looking to accomplish during that period of time for all students, whether they're in a class or they are outside because of a specific course they're in at Auburn or because of their open campus. So as we continue to go through this document, you'll notice that there are some expectations and some routines that happened during that 5A. Over the last 18 months, so many things have pushed pause in our world, including this time that we had called Topper Time. But it's very important that we get back on track. Last year, our graduating class of 2021 was able to accomplish over 687 graduation seals from the state of Ohio. They weren't required to attain these. They just naturally attained them because of the courses that they took and or the grades that they have received in those courses or their scores that they have on their end of course exams. The graduation seals for the class of 22, many of you are on the new pathway. And of course, 100% of our juniors are on this pathway. And it's absolutely important, mission critical, that we have them start working on their local seals. So you already know a little bit about Topper Time in the sense that it's 20 minutes, 3 days a week. It is an advisory period. There's teachers in the room that are going to be more of a liaison for you. And we'll have many teachers coming in who are our circuit teachers who work directly with those juniors in particular who were initially in the 8th grade class who had the circuit of success. They're going to be able to go full circle with those students and help maintain those graduation seals that they have earned both in their 8th grade year and hopefully as they continue through their junior and senior year. I previously discussed this, but the home-based Topper Time teacher, they're the guide, they're the messenger, they're kind of the sage out there. They're the ones taking attendance. They're the one that's developing relationships with you. It's kind of your little Harry Potter house. You can do what you need to do to call it whatever it is in that room. But ultimately, we have students that are seniors, juniors, and sophomores all mixed together. The seniors, great expectation for you to be kind of those role models and those the model of what we expect as you transition through the multiple years that you have, 4 years here at Chardon High School. The juniors, this is also your 4th year at Chardon High School, and we have great expectations for you, and 100% of you need to accomplish these senior capstone projects by the time you're graduating. And our sophomores in there give you an opportunity to at least be exposed to this and also be on track to understand what you need to do to be able to graduate in a timely manner following these capstone projects. The one important thing that I want to mention in regards to these graduation seals is it's not just, oh, I got to put a checkbox, I got to do a checkbox. What is the intention? What are the choices? What are the voices that I have to choose the outcomes in which I want to accomplish before I graduate? So here's your typical week. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. On Mondays, coming back to school from the weekend, we want certainly the relationship building going on, students working on classwork. Students certainly can be itemizing their capstone projects. There could be even teacher-directed intervention and enrichment. Something could be occurring in that class. It could be a math teacher, science, English, and they could see that students need some additional help and support, and they certainly can help them during that time. On Tuesdays, that is our building level intervention where you can check out during topper time to go get help from other teachers who might be able to assist you in some of the things that you're working on. This is across the building. 8 through 12 is our intervention day. And then on Fridays, as our freshman mentoring program has what they call more Family Fridays, we're trying to encourage that throughout our 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, where they can continue to develop relationships and rapport with one another. And certainly, we're not holding back any students that would like to get additional work accomplished during that time. I'll be making another video about our graduation seals so that we have a better understanding of what are the expectations, more so what we have to accomplish before we graduate in another video. But I specifically want to talk about the graduation seals that you have to accomplish locally. You have to do a state level seal. You need your 20 credit hours. Passing through those classes, you need to pass Algebra 1, ELA 2, and then you have to have a state seal, which you can easily attain by your success in the classroom and, of course, through the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal that we are working with our students in the 8th grade to achieve, and then allow additional experiences with mentors so that you can finalize that seal. And then we have the locally determined seals, and that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about in this video today. So these locally determined seals, there are thematic components to them that the state creates, and then we build what we have as our expectations of those seals. For example, the state determined that a locally determined seal can be the community service seal, and then we develop what that seal looks like. So what we have here is for students who are very highly involved in community service, there are several things that you need to accomplish. The first step is this. Students need to accumulate 40 community service hours through the duration of their entire high school career. So if you are a junior, you have your 8th grade year, 9th, 10th, and 11th year, 4 years, you do the math, that's 10 hours of community service that you would have to do per year. If you include your senior year, now you're looking at literally 8 hours throughout the course of your time. And those things that include are not limited to things that you already might do. So if you're in service learning and you go out and do food drives, if you are an NHS and you're cleaning up in the community, if you are doing things for your church or other organization, or even through your Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and you're doing service, those are included towards your service for this seal. We just need documentation for it. That goes through the community service verification forms. And that is just a log. You're taking a log. People are signing off on that log that you completed those logistics. And students pursuing this community service seal need to have all of their service hours completed and verified by May 1st of your graduation year. So if you're choosing this one, and you can, again, because we are looking at a graduation component for the class of 22 and the 23, and you're learning more about your graduation seals, you could say, man, last year I did 8 to 10 hours of service at this park. You can use that. You just need to get the verification signature. What's really important here is the step 2. Step 2 is this. Now that you've done your 40 hours of service, or you're working towards your 40 hours of service, what do I do with this? You're going to complete a capstone project during your senior year. You can do it during your junior year, but it has to be completed by your senior year. Aligned to our core values, in which you have heard me talk about a lot, it should be a reflection of your interest and an explanation of the reason that you pursued this specific locally defined seal. For example, you might be involved in environmental science, AP, you might be in Science Olympiad, and you might want to do a research on the effects of loitering and how a community project leading up Route 44 and the impact of this and the volume that you picked up is an example of a research component. You might actually put on a service event. There might be an opportunity for you to raise money for various cause that you have, and you want to have an event for it. Whether you plan it for inside of the school or you plan plan it outside of the school. Those are the things that we're looking for. It could be an experience. You might end up writing about one of your service experience that was very transformational in your life. And you want to make sure that you document that and talk about that and how that has really impacted you. You may have an internship that you're involved in inside of one of those service experiences where you might end up having a summer job because of that work. And then you document that and you write about those experiences. Those are some of the things that would be entailed into accomplishing a locally determined seal for community service. And certainly we would be a part of that process with you that I'll talk to you about in a little moment. I'm really excited that the state determined that locally we could have a fine and performing arts seal. We have so many students involved in the fine and performing arts, and you could say to yourself, well, I do some service and I just naturally help out, but I'm more of the person who likes to work with my hands in a way that I feel is an appreciation of my passion. Okay, well, we have a locally determined seal for you. And what do you do with that? Well, first, some of these things you've already accomplished. If you love the fine and performing arts, most likely you've taken almost all of the fine and performing arts courses or experiences. So the first step is to have 2 credits from the courses listed below. Option 1, any of our art classes, any of our theater classes, any of our concert band, wind ensemble, any of those classes, you have accomplished step 1. You have the background knowledge and experiences to be able to articulate a project from this. Okay, maybe you didn't take those. Then you have option 2. You're involved in marching band, free harmony, concert band, show choir, fall play, spring musicals, one acts, thespians. You've accomplished those. And option 2, you're ready to move on to step 2. What's step 2 include? Much like I just shared, step 2 is you're going to complete a capstone project during your senior year or by the completion of your senior year, following the core values of the framework in which we look through. The capstone ideas for this can be included of a research project or an internship. You are involved with the Jaga Lyric Theater. You want to ultimately get involved in theater. You want to be on the stage and you're involved in this. You might put on an event. For example, you are actively involved in the talent show. You're actively involved in one acts. You're actively involved in experiences that relate to showing your art at local vendors or local places. These are the type of experiences that can lead you into talking about and writing or presenting or articulating or creating a video of the ways in which you have earned that locally determined seal. You see, it's really easy to do. And it just takes the time to realize that over the course of your time towards earning and achieving your 4 E's of enrolling into a 2 or 4 year school or becoming employed or being a young entrepreneur or enlisting in the armed forces, you're finding your purpose and you're finding your passion. That is what it takes to earn the fine and local performing arts seal. Another seal that's extremely attainable, probably by over 50% of our student body or more, is a certified student engagement seal. I would actually probably add that to 75% of our student body. So if you are not into completing all of the service or even the fine and performing arts, you have the opportunity for a certified student engagement seal. And these go directly on your diploma to let you know these are legitimate seals that you have earned and attained throughout your high school career. So how do you earn this seal? For step 1, you need to complete any combination of 2 of the following extracurricular activities. Have you played a sport? Are you involved in a school activity? Are you involved in academic engagement? Those things posted here are great opportunities for you to say, check, I've done that. Actually, I've done 7 of these things and I really love them. That's good. You got through step 1 on the academic side or the extracurricular side. Now you have to do step 2 is, for example, I'm giving an example of the past. We had a young man, Max Vuoclio, who played 4 years of football, who ended up doing a project that he worked with hospitals where he helped students. They were students who were sick and raised money for them and had this causing a cure or helping to raise funds for a cure for pediatrics and that particular illness. These are great projects. That in itself could be a combination of service and this specific seal. You might want to go into broadcasting. Might want to go into the MAC, and be a part of the one of the athletic advisors, and you want to do an internship, or you want to put on an event for one of these sporting events that you are involved in or activities you're involved in. You might have an opportunity where you have an experience that is unlike most, where you get to shadow the Cleveland Indians, or you get a part of the Browns, or you're getting involved in other things in relating to academics and or science Olympiad. You have an experience that you're able to do at NASA, or you're able to be on a larger board for Model UN, or you end up working on helping create all of the images for our scoreboard because you're in multimedia design. You have attained every component necessary for you to earn this seal. Now you need to be able to articulate in either in a paper or a presentation and or a video or an explanation in details covering these specific things, what you have done to accomplish those seals so that we can verify that before your senior year. You see, this is really, really, really attainable. And we've made them attainable by one, aligning them to your course of work and aligning them to everything that we provide in this school. And then we're just saying, now you need to do something with it. Make it final in the sense of put all of your good work together and demonstrate for us, even in a community presentation on a senior night where you can stand in front of the community and say, here's what I've done with what I love to do. Or if you're not one that wants to stand in front of the community, here is my research paper. Here is my journal log of my experience. Here is a summary of all of these event planning that I've put on, and here's the video that was put together on behalf of this event. Great opportunities for you to earn not just one of these local determined seals, but you can earn all of these seals. Extremely attainable. This is a great experience for all of you. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts. So now we get into the nuts and bolts of your senior project template, your capstone project. And we are going to have the committee of circuit teachers, administrators, and our school counselors coming into Topper Times and articulating this to you in a very clear and precise way, and then providing for you these appendix or these documents in which you're going to help generate ideas. Okay, the first component of this is for you to be able to write down what you want to do. What are the things that you want to put as a closing gap to your locally determined seal that you choose, whether fine and performing arts, certified student engagement, or your community seal, and what are the things that you want to do? And then you put together in a document the statement of significance. What do you want to learn by doing this? Why is this project important? You are going to tell us why you want to do these things. And we want to be able to be your coaches. We want to guide you. We want to help you. We want to make this meaningful, not just checking the box off. We want to know what your goals are. What do you want to accomplish with this? What are the expectations you have? What are some of the plans that you have with this? What's your timeline? What do you want to be able to accomplish? How can I best support you? And we want to make sure that we are providing you the wisdom that we have and experience to help you understand what are the requirements and what are some of the problems that you might face along the line, and what are some of the things you might have to get signed off or approved in order to make this happen. So the first portion of this, and we'll put this in the Google Classroom, is you're going to be able to explain to us, okay, here's my plan. This is my plan. This is what I want to do for a seal, and this is what I want to do with that seal. And you'll be able to, within a month, be able to articulate those things so that we can receive them, give you feedback, and then you can get running on your way with this. The one thing that has to occur by the completion of this is it needs to be approved. There are certain things that you might want to use this building. You may want to do something that would entail us to get further authorization because it involves something that is off this campus, where we would need a mentor to sign off on those things. We want to make sure that what your plans are, we can make happen, and so that we can allow you to be able to feel successful along the way. So your teachers that are in your classroom, your top time teachers, they're going to be that conduit to us. They certainly are going to guide you and help you if you have specific questions. But we are in the committee are going to be the ones that are going to approve these things for you, provide this to your top time teacher to provide to you so that you can feel successful in kind of that branching out of working with the students in your room, kind of gauging ideas off them, talking back with your top time teacher. It's like, hey, this is where I think I'm going, or I don't know anything about what I should do. What do you think I should do? And then us being able to provide that support for you. And whether you're doing a video, whether you're doing a presentation, whether you are going to do some sort of unique synthesis of what you have done, we want to hear it in your own words. And the final component of your senior project reflection is to analyze those things and reflect on what that experience was all about. And that is due by the end of May, where we are able to then put a checkbox to say, you have earned this seal, you're on track, and we can continue to support you. What I know that has occurred through the course of decades of having senior projects here at Chardon High School that initially started out of the English department and has evolved into our graduation seals is that we have students that in their senior project did a component of what they're doing now in their career. So we want you to utilize your strengths. We don't want to we want you to break out of your comfort zone a little bit, but we want you to utilize your strengths and really focus on something that you want to do in relation to what you're already involved in. It's a win-win situation here. The local determined seals, I'm pretty excited about because it really allows us to create who we are and do it in a way that demonstrates who you are. And it'll allow us to showcase Chardon in the best light possible. Really proud of this work, and I know that you'll be proud of this work. And I know that there's going to be some growing pains because we've been in a pandemic for nearly a year and a half, and we haven't been able to really articulate this, have topper times, work with you with this. But now it's crunch time. Half of the class of 2022, you're on this graduation pathway. 100% of the class of 23 and beyond, you're all on this pathway. And it's important that we do this great work. If you're a junior, you can get this done this year and have your work done for your senior year. And during 5A next year, you might be able to have an open campus because you have attained it. If you are a senior now who has open campus, we're going to reach out to you and connect with you to make sure that you're on point with this too. Really excited to work with you throughout this year. Super excited to showcase your work throughout the course of the end of this year. Looking forward to working with you directly. Soon and very soon, I will work on the graduation seals so that you can better understand them because the guidance works with that. But today, I want to make sure you understand what is the Senior Capstone Project. Have a great day.